Hi, thanks for coming over to my YouTube channel. As promised, I have all the instruments ready to play. Yeah, basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to just to kind of talk through how I made them, what materials I used. In the description below, I'm gonna put like links to things which I bought for the process of making all this stuff. So if you wanted to make any of this stuff yourself at home as well, there's quite a few like little tips. So what I reckon I'll do first is I'll get all of these down from the rack that I made using a curtain rail, and I'll just talk through each one first, and then I'll just talk how I made each one. I think one of the saving graces of making all this stuff was this cord that comes out of this box. You get like 50 meters of it, and it's from a company called Bowtree Chord. And basically it was just really good. It ties really well in knots. It's 2 millimeters thick as well. And one thing is when you cut the cord, it tends to fray. And I saw a cool thing on like a fishing website where basically if you just burn the end very slightly with an ideal forgery lighter, it just means that the end's then easier to kind of put through holes in any of the stuff, and easier to tie as well because it doesn't fray, and also means that it hopefully won't fray once it's on, all of that stuff. Okay, so I'm going to talk about these in order as I made them. So basically, I bought these antique bells in a craft shop, but I'm pretty sure you'd be able to get some, you know, from anywhere really. They're just kind of like fake antique bells. Using that cord, I basically just got 3 strands that I tied a bell to, and literally just tied them in like a single knot on each one, and they seem to stay in place really well. And we just tied them in. They kind of tangled the 3 strands together, tied a knot at each end, and that's basically how that one was made. These ones are called Winomo Bells that you can get on Amazon in the link below. Again, just the same kind of idea with the cords, tied them on. They also have like little loops that you can put the string through. Yeah, and just kind of tied them together again. So Winomo Bells. This one's a little bit more interesting. So basically, if I can open it. So basically, it's got pennies inside, 2p's actually, and yeah, basically the way that it works is you just put the 2p's inside, tie them. I had to drill through them, which took quite a while, so be careful of which drill bit you use for that, I guess. Just use a metal drill bit. Yeah, and then it's got a few different types of sounds. You can put the lid on as well, which gives it a completely different sound, and then you can kind of shake it as well. Yeah, so this is just a Marks and Spencer's biscuit tin. This one's quite fun. So I just took a load of spare spoons that I had from when I gave like a spoons workshop. I had a spare wind chime bar as well. Put them on my Green Man cup from 2016. And yeah, and I just kind of tied them together. Put drilled holes in it. Put knots in it. One little tip is that when you're trying to hang something, make sure that you put a knot on the inside and the outside, if that makes sense, because then it hangs better, because I'm hanging it from the wind chime loop. Also, all of these are connected by caribou clips to the thing, so that if I want to change them up, I can do, basically. This was probably the funnest one to make, and also to drink all the beers. Yeah, so this is just like loads of strands, and what I did is just kind of, it took me ages, to be fair, to drill through all the bottle tops. Yeah, but one little thing that I tried out is basically I double-ended them together, a bit like a tambourine that you would do, I guess, which made it sound twice as loud as it should do. Because I tried it with just one and it took me ages to redo it. So this one's definitely double them up when you tie the knots. And again, it's just a knot, so they're freestanding on the thing, which also helps, I think. And then I think there's like 7 strands, which is like 148 beers, I think. So yeah. I think this is my favourite one because, well, it's got my Meadows in the Mountains mugs that they give you, which is like kind of like a reusable cup that you use when you're there in Bulgaria. Shout out to those guys. And yeah, although I did ironically use coffee tins, so I don't know whether that kind of balances out the fact that I went to a cool festival like that. But anyway, so yeah, use a camping mug as well. Again, put 2p's in the middle of them. And it just makes really cool sounds. My dad said that they sounded like cows in a field or something, so yeah. This one's a similar idea to the bottle caps one, but I just used plastic bottles. This one's a much more mellow sound. I had to use quite a lot more on this one as well to get it to really make a sound really jangle. in the way that I wanted it to. I didn't double them up either because that actually quietened them. So again, they're freestanding. So when the knots don't like hold them in place, which is really, really good. So it sounds really nice. It's quite mellow, this one. This one's really cute. It's called a key tree. I kind of seen this done before with a few different ways, but this is just like on a little triangle holder. Balanced it out with a 2P so that I didn't kind of slant when I drilled the hole in it. And I used a different type of string, which I'll put in the description as well, to actually put the keys on. And this is really good for wind chimes if you're looking for like a wind chime string. Because and again, when you tie the knot, just tie it in like a double knot rather than when you put the two strings together. I don't know what that's called, but rather than tying a knot and a knot on top of each other, because they just slipped out with the string. But yeah, key tree. And this last one is from a garden fence at B&Q. I don't think I'll be able to put a link in because I bought this ages ago. And I made a couple of failed attempts at this. I used a drum head, kind of the rim of a drum head, and kind of cut it out. I used the garden hose head as well, and then put all the thinner parts of the fence in the middle and the thicker parts on the outside. This one sounds quite cool as well, but this is probably took quite a few attempts at getting it right. And I used just the plastic of the drum head to kind of hold each kind of strand in place, if that makes sense. And again, I used the wind chime string for this because I think when you're dangling, I think there just needs to be a little bit more kind of give in the string rather than the other stuff. So that was a fairly quick kind of rundown on how I made them all. If you were following all the videos as well, you would have kind of seen me talk a bit more about those. So I kind of put together this little performance of all of the sounds together. I just used a really basic setup. So I used an SE1A overhead mic. I used my Boss RC505 LoopStation on like a free kind of mode setting. Added a little bit of reverb as I went along, and yeah, so enjoy it. I'm gonna put the camera up there, and then yeah, and we'll see how we go. Here we go. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is just the little button there. Also, if you go to my Facebook and Instagram, you'll see some more kind of stuff. My plan is basically, I've got loads of instruments at home. We're going to be home for a while as well, I guess. And yeah, I just want to kind of talk about those as kind of the next step that I'll do with this. Kind of talk to you about those instruments, talk about some cool rhythms, and hopefully make some kind of content that'll be quite fun. And if you've got any of the instruments at home, then you might be able to play along as well. Cool. Yeah, so like and subscribe for more content.